Hi everyone, welcome back to Watch It Played. My name is Rodney Smith, and this is going to be a pre-Gen Con newsy updates type of thing. But before we get to the Gen Con-y stuff, I just wanted to mention, in case you were not aware, we are having our 7th season fundraiser for Watch It Played. Currently, we are 93% funded, 7% more, and I'll be back to working full-time again on the show for another year. And then after that goal is reached, we can then start working on unlocking Pep as well, so he can work on the show again full-time for another year. I just want to say quickly, Pep has been a massive help to the show in the last several months, both doing lots of editing, working on the gameplays with me, and all kinds of other behind-the-scenes stuff, like updating all the thumbnails, the descriptions, links that we have to content. It's been incredibly helpful, and it means that I've been able to work on more tutorial videos as well and other types of content for the show. So that has been really helpful. And hey, listen, if the show has had value to you before and you'd like to support it, we also have some fun perks over there. So I'll put a link in the description of this video to the fundraiser page if you'd like to check that out. If you back the show but you haven't been to the fundraiser page for a while, I just want to quickly mention we now have the Clank promo on display. Initially, when we launched the fundraiser page, we didn't have the artwork yet, but thanks to our friends at Renegade Games and Direwolf Digital, we now have that to share. You'll find it there, and of course, you're seeing it here on screen. One last thing I want to mention about the fundraiser is that aside from getting me back working full-time and Pep working full-time, the stretch goals are kind of just for fun. They aren't really serious, particularly the one to teach Star Wars Rebellion. Now that said, if we reach the goal, I will teach Star Wars Rebellion, but I don't have any illusions we're going to hit that goal. It was really just there as a piece of silly fun based on some jokes that have happened on Twitter. However, some people are taking it a little more seriously than others. Marty Cannell from Rolling Dice and Taking Names and a host of other people secretly got together, unbeknownst to me, and created a, how will I describe this? Ridiculous, unbelievable, charming, and hilarious video to support this drive to get the Star Wars Rebellion video made. I'm not going to play all of it here. You can see it in the corner. But if you'd like to check out the full video, I highly recommend it. I love it. I'll put a link to that in the description below. Alrighty, let's talk about Gen Con. First of all, I'm really excited to be going. At the time of this recording, I'm just working on the last bits of video that I want to release before heading off to that crazy, crazy show. And which might not be in that direction. It could be, I'm not really sure. As long as the pilot knows, I'll get there. And if I do get there, I would love to see you. If you see Pep or I at the show and you'd like to stop us to say hi, please feel free to. There's a lot of people at this show. So many. I do not recall a time where Gen Con talked about selling out of tickets, and that is actually happening. So if this is the year you pick to go, boy howdy, did you pick a time to go, because this is going to be the most attended Gen Con ever. And despite there being all those people around, it is nice every now and then just to stop and have someone to talk to about what they're experiencing at the show, the games they're enjoying. So listen, if you're a friendly face, then I would love to see you. Certainly feel free to say hi. Now, one place you'll be able to find me for sure is at the Omni Bar in the Omni Hotel. To be clear, not the whole time. Very specifically, I'll be there at 7 p.m. on Friday for the Rolling Dice and Taking Names podcast meetup. I think this is their first meetup at a convention ever. I would not miss it, especially because there's going to be a Strike tournament. If you've not heard about Strike, this is a game that has generated some very polarizing opinions. There's some debate about this game. Some people, like Marty, one of the hosts of Rolling Dice and Taking Names, believes this game is little more than dice in a bowl. And then there are people like his co-host Tony and myself who correctly believe that this is a game of gladiatorial combat. Well, we're going to settle this debate once and for all. Everyone who shows up can play the game. If you don't know how to play, I'd be very happy to teach you the correct way of playing Strike. Another place that you can also find me will be at the Secret Cabal meetup taking place on Saturday at 8 p.m. Both the Secret Cabal meetup and the Rolling Dice and Taking Names meetup doesn't require any sign-ups or anything. You just have to show up. Well, the Cabal meetup is going to be at the Tow Yard Brewery. Every convention I go to where there's a Secret Cabal gaming meetup, this is always the highlight of the show. If you've never attended one, I highly encourage you to show up. It is just a fun, fun time. And this one's going to be off the chain or off the hook or whatever you put things on and take them off of. That's what this will be. This is going to be, well, first of all, they're having their own brew made specifically for this event by Toy Yard Brewery. That's really cool. There's a massive, massive raffle of games that get given away, and there's just a load of people having a great time. So I'd love to see you there. I hope you take the time out of your schedule to go there. I promise you, you will not regret it. This is a massive group of games and gamers all getting together and just having a good time. And there's even a little bit of time in there usually to play some games, especially after sort of things start to wind down. Although honestly, things don't wind down for hours. This is usually my latest night. Listen, if you want to kick off Gen Con with a bang, and by kick off, I mean like end it. So whatever the kick on, mixing my expressions here today. This is the time to do it. Saturday night at 8 p.m. Be there for the Seer Cabal Gaming Podcast Meetup. Before wrapping up, I just want to mention quickly this comic book that's behind me on the shelf here, because this is the first time I've had it on display, so probably some people will ask me about it in the comments. This is the first appearance ever of the Punisher, and the Punisher is my most favorite comic book character. I enjoyed reading comic books as a kid, and when I first discovered the Punisher, it kind of blew me away. Sort of like the Punisher does to his enemies, blows them away. And that's why it really grabbed my attention, because I was used to, as a kid, seeing the comic book heroes, web the villains up for the police to get, or Batman who didn't use guns. And then here's a comic book character who kills the enemies. It was just really, I think as a young person, it felt kind of like, ooh, edgy and dark. And that was kind of appealing to me at the time. And I've always enjoyed a good vengeance story. And this is certainly that. It's a tale of vengeance and probably like some kind of terrible psychosis as well, if you think about it. But either way, this is a comic book that means a lot to me. I've never owned a collector's edition of a comic book like this. And it was a special gift to me from some wonderful, wonderful friends. I'm not going to mention their names because that's not the reason they gave me the gift. But that's why it's on display here. It's a very special memento to me, and I'm very happy to have it. Oh, the other thing I wanted to mention was the shirt that I'm wearing. This came to me from John, the host of the Actual Lull YouTube channel. Listen, I've recommended this channel before on social media, so I'm not giving them, I guess, what you call a plug because of this shirt. But this is a nice reason to do it again. Because not only is John's show funny and fun, which it is, but I also really appreciate that he creates content that I think is inviting to people, whether they're already embedded in the hobby or not. Listen, I really enjoy the content that is made for those of us who are already in it, who love to just dive into all of the terminology of our hobby and already are really acclimated to that. But what I really like about John's content is he also creates videos that I think anyone, even if they're just sort of getting into the hobby or would be interested in it, can enjoy. Funny songs, funny skits, and things like this. I highly recommend you check him out. I'll put a link in the description of this video so you can go check out his channel and see exactly what I'm talking about. But that's everything I wanted to share here. I think I should head back and work on this last video I want to release before Gen Con so I can start packing. And until the next episode, everyone, thanks for watching.